very tactile recipe. You're like smashing things and whisking things. The thing with this dessert is you have to eat it right away. You gotta eat it all. I am Zoë Kanan, and I'm a pastry chef in New York City. And today we are making a scrappy and indulgent dessert in my apartment. A salted coffee caramel ice cream pie that is gonna put to work these spent coffee grounds. Also some old stale cookies that I found in the back of my pantry. Why not use it again to make a delicious, fancy, indulgent dessert? So I'm gonna take this cream, pour it into a little saucepan, and scoop some coffee grounds, probably a couple tablespoons. And I'm just gonna like warm this up. So I wanna make sure the infusion happens first so that I can get this chilling. I'm gonna transfer it into this bowl and pop it in my fridge. My extremely full fridge. Cookie crust is a really simple way to make a base for a pie. I'm gonna melt the butter now. So once it's melted, I'm just gonna let it sit. Now I'm gonna use these stale cookies, smash these cookies into crumbs. So I'm gonna, this is also potentially saving you money on therapy. You can use whatever cookies you have for this. I'm using chocolate wafer cookies. Say you had like old shortbread or some like ginger snaps. I want them to be sort of the texture of soil. It's my pie tin. Transfer my crushed cookies. I like to reuse my plastic bags. Money saving tip. We want to make sure to season this with a little bit of salt. Our coffee grounds are going to show up again. Just a smidge. Okay, and now our melted butter. Just gonna mix it right in the pie pan. Just make sure all of it is evenly coated with butter. Press the cookies and form like an even layer and push up the crumbs on the side of the pie tin. This would look really pretty if you were using multiple kinds of cookies. Like if you were using chocolate and graham crackers, then it would be kind of like a calico crust. All right, so this looks good. I'm going to now chill it so that the butter can solidify and this can really form a like solid base. Caramel is a really great pastry technique to make at home with pantry items because it really just uses sugar, cream, and butter. So I have my hot pan and I'm adding my sugar. About medium-high flame. While my sugar is going, I have here some cream butter. I'm gonna just warm this up. I feel like at home everyone has their like go-to burner. Front right definitely sees the most action in this kitchen. I poured in my cream, turned off the flame, and now I'm just stirring to incorporate evenly. Now that the cream and butter have been incorporated, I'm gonna add my pinch of salt in. Throw this on some ice cream, throw this on some cereal. So we'll just set this aside to cool while we move on to next step. So now we are actually going to make the frozen mousse or no churn ice cream. The first step of that is making an Italian meringue. So I'm gonna get a double boiler set up. So I have sugar and salt, add some yolk, some whites. You wanna make sure to whisk together. So I'm gonna bring this over onto my simmering water. They're getting a little bit foamy. That's good. This is one of my favorite things in my kitchen is, this is a cow. Now I'm gonna transfer this mixture into my stand mixer. Scrape your bowl clean. Want to whip this on high speed. 2 to 3 minutes. So our Italian meringue is done. It's nice and glossy and stiff. If you don't have a stand mixer at home, you could swap out some good old-fashioned elbow grease. So here is my infused coffee cream. Transfer this. I'm gonna whip by hand. I can see it starting to thicken up a little bit. You could also do this in your mixer, but I wanted to show that like you can do it by hand. So our cream is whipped to stiff peaks. So now I am going to take a little bit of the cream and move it into the bowl with the meringue. This is called like sacrificing, so that I can help their textures unify. Loosen up the meringue with a little bit of the cream. Okay, now I'm gonna transfer. And now I'm just gonna fold these two together to form our coffee mousse. Now we're gonna build our pie. So I'm gonna start by putting a small, just like a light layer of this mousse down first. Then I'm gonna drizzle a ribbon of caramel. I'm gonna repeat. Caramel. Just trying to distribute the caramel evenly so that you get a nice amount. And then this is gonna be our last layer. The mousse is gonna, as it freezes, like it's gonna settle into the shell a little bit, and our last caramel layer on top. So before slicing into this, it needs to be really frozen. Here is the finished pie. This is one that I made last night. And then in order to get clean slices, you wanna use a hot knife. So I'm actually gonna turn on my flame. And then I'm gonna slice it right in half. Great. Gonna drizzle a little extra caramel sauce over the top. Oh gosh, this is so good. It's actually unfair that you guys can't eat this.